Hey YouTube, Derek Giddings here back at you, and hopefully you watched the previous video where we did the unboxing of the all-new Heckler Koch MR556 A4. So now what I want to do is take you through the all-new A4, as you can see here. Let's go through the upper and the lower, and let's talk about some of the features, benefits, and maybe some of the sore points amongst users, and we'll just break them all down and go through them. So stand by. Okay, now we're on the workbench where we've got the all-new HK MR556 A4 kind of field strip disassembled here so we can go through the components. And before I get started, what I'd like to say, this is the wettest gun I've ever had out of the box, out of the bag, brand new. I mean, you can see this towel right here. Even today, I'm continuing to it's just oozing oil. I mean, every time I get it dry, it's just like excited to see me, and I mean, it's like it's back. It's like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like it. It's definitely packed for storage, so I would highly encourage you when you get yours to take it apart and get rid of all that excess oil, because it's not going to help you. It's only going to attract fouling and grime and create problems. So get rid of it. It is well preserved. Also, before we start, what I'd like to say is I weighed this in. So out of the bag, without anything added to it, removed from it, just out of the bag, the 16 and a half inch HK MR556 A4 weighed in at 7.3 pounds. 7.3 pounds. So that is significantly down from the old, especially heavy barreled MR. Okay, 7.3 pounds out of the bag. That's important to know because that's not bad. It comes with the HK Slimline buttstock. It's nice. It doesn't have as great a cheek well, but it saves a lot of weight. Good stock. There's no, the butt pad doesn't swivel to the side to provide any storage. It's just a really lightweight option. You can run a sling through there, or you can buy a HK QD mount bracket that I'll use on mine because I use a sling quite often. Okay, the buttstock fits on this nice buffer tube. And a couple things I want to point out on this A4 variant are you've got at the back here, you'll notice you've got a QD attachment point. You've got the beefed up castle nut. It's kind of interesting, they painted the staking slot white. Again, you've got that enhanced, the big beefy castle nut. You've got the OTB buffer tube here. You can see where, for you guys that like to go swimming with your rifles, or if you're like me and crazy and go do 10K running guns and go through rivers and water and submerge everything, the water will come right out, the gun won't blow your face off, so that's good. You've got the 6-position adjustable points for 6-position points for your adjustable buttstock. These little silver things right here, some of you know, some of you don't. This is actually a over design feature where you can push, righty tighty lefty loosey on the screws, and what it does is it actually tightens up the attachment for the stock. So if you have a little stock wobble, you can adjust those screws on your stock. If you even change stocks out and have a little wobble, and tighten it right up. Kind of a neat over design feature. Again, I do like having that QD attachment as opposed to just a flat plate that provides no value. So that's really, really nice. Okay, moving right along, what you're going to notice next, I like to point out, is no more little detent pins. So, the MRs would have the little detent pins were on the other side you'd have to take a little tool and pop the pins, and supposedly that made for tighter fitment and better accuracy, and it was just kind of a pain in the ass. It never really bothered me, but I prefer having this setup with your standard push-out takedown pins as opposed to the detab. Let's try and do this one-handed, so just pushes right through, and then you can push it right back out, no tools. Very nice. You've got the buffer, the HK buffer that you need to run in this particular setup. You've got the hammer that will allow you to put it on safe while it is even in the forward position. That's been an HK feature, and that's nothing new. Again, you can see the ambidextrous, the bolt release right here on this side. You can see the ambidextrous controls here, magazine release on the bottom, bolt release on the top. Again, the mag well now goes from the flat to the slant. You go from the straight, kind of old school trigger guard to that HK modern rounded one. Nice, looks good. The trigger on this one, if I had to guess, I don't have my trigger gauge, but I'd say it's about 5 pounds. It's actually really nice, and I'm not going to spend any time on this. Out of the box, I thought it was a great trigger. I wouldn't spend money to put a Geisley in this gun. I've got a different competition trigger I'm going to use. Not because this one's bad, but just because it's what I've got in my MRs, and I like to keep them all the same. But this thing probably breaks about 5 pounds, I would guess. And the brakes, that's good enough. It's more important, it's got virtually no reset. I mean, it's a fast single stage reset, and I think this trigger can be shot very accurately and probably very, very quick. Mine that I'm going to use is just a little bit better. But you would not have to spend money to upgrade this trigger out of the box, which is really nice because most ARs come with really crappy triggers. So next on the lower, let's talk about this new grip. In fact, hold on one second. The power of editing, I'm going to grab something to show you. Hold on. Okay, and like that, I'm back. So this new grip, I don't know anything about it. I'm just going to go based on forensics here, and I'm going to say that based on the feel of it, it's kind of a different feeling polymer. It looks kind of like the way the CC9s look. It says HK. The grip angle is similar to the HK V7 variant grip. I'm going to guess that this one is made here in the USA to look like the grip angle of this HK V7. The V7 does not have a cap, and this one does not have a cap either. Now, I'm one of those guys that I store zeroing data, dope data, all kinds of other reminders that I might need in my grip, and I like having a grip cap. So some people may like this grip. It feels really good. I don't have anything against it. I don't like a grip that doesn't have a grip cap. So this baby's gone, and I'm going to replace it. But it's very nice, okay? It's fine, but that's always a preference item, so for anybody that likes it, there's probably somebody that hates it. It's got the ambidextrous safety levers, again, that go with that 45-degree angle that a lot of people like these days. What I will say, I'm a right-handed shooter, so the right side of the gun, this selector lever, if you look at it, it's pretty wide. And what I noticed on my grip, it rubs a little bit on my trigger finger. Again, everybody's hands are different, but this is one of those things where I'm kind of surprised they didn't have a lower profile one out of the gate. And if I had to be a betting man, I would bet this gets revised to where it's going to be a lower profile. It almost reminds me of when CZ came out with the Scorpion, and it had that big ambi control on the right hand side, and the first problem everybody had was it's rubbing my finger. So this is easy because it's plastic. You could file it down if it was a problem. It's really no big deal. Again, I'm going to bet that gets changed after the rifles get out and get some use. Maybe I'm wrong, but I will probably find I've got to file that down some. Anyway, just wanted to point that out. Nothing much else there to go over on the lower. So I tell you what, let's dive right into. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. I'll try to do it one-handed. If not, we'll just cut this out in video editing or something. But okay, let's move on to the upper. Your standard MR bolt group. I'm not going to disassemble this or show you anything. That's your standard MR bolt group. Again, these rifles are designed for semi-automatic fire only. These now do come with a very nice ambidextrous, charging handle that has big enough handles or places for your fingers to grab onto. I like it. It's not too small. Again, this is one of those things. Some people like them real small. Some people like them real big. I think this is kind of a nice medium size that I really, really like. The handguard has M-lock. It's lightened. I mean, this thing, I'd call it skeletonized. I like it. They've removed the excess weight and, again, being a piston system with a match grade barrel, these rifles run heavy anyway. So this is a great way to really get rid of excess material and weight. It's got 2 QD points, one on each side. The takedown screw bolt is captive on these now, which I like. I like that a lot. So it's captive, so don't try to yank it out, you'll break it. It's got the HK logo right there, so you can flex and everybody knows what you're shooting on the range. It's got your markings on the top. Again, you saw in the unboxing video, ships with this little M-lock HK logo that's stuck in there. That's a marketing item, kind of just a neat little thing. And it is marked, normal and suppressed for your gas settings, which you'll see in just a minute. Really lightweight skeletonized handguard. Like it a lot. It's not even really, thick. I mean, like some of the past ones are just too thick. This thing is really easy to wrap your hands around, get a good grip on the gun, and I like it a lot. Okay, enough said. To the upper receiver we go. Then we can wrap this up, and enough yapping. Again, these are the new design, which you'll see on the other side. Really not much to talk about right here. Your standard MR, the piston system. Here's where the change is. You've got the adjustable gas block. We'll flip it over and get a better view from the other side. Again, this is the lightened profile barrel. These barrels, I believe HK's claim is they do a 10-round group with match grade ammo, and they're guaranteeing basically a 1 MOA barrel where they proof with 10 rounds as opposed to most manufacturers that do 1 to 3 rounds. So it's a German cold hammer forged cannon grade steel barrel, a monster, but it is slimmed down. On these slimmer profile barrels that I've used for the last few years compared to the heavy profile, I've been through numerous courses of fire where match directors will have you really heat those barrels up with huge round counts on all kinds of targets, and then have you go out and engage the 300, 400, 500, 600 yard targets after they've really made your barrel hot. I've never had any problem with this barrel heating up like you see in a lot of other manufacturers, what they call like enhanced lightweight profile, or some of these other names they have for them, where they've really shaved all the meat off the barrel. The problem is, you shoot 10 rounds and next thing you know, your bullets are going crooked because the barrel's too hot. So I've never had that problem, and you're just not going to have to worry about that with an HK as you do with some of the other manufacturers. Again, most people don't even shoot 10 rounds through a gun to even know this kind of stuff, so whatever. I did notice, I thought this was kind of funny, no crush washer on the birdcage. I think most people replace this anyway, but I was just kind of surprised not to see a crush washer. I guess they could save 10 cents or something doing that, knowing everybody will change it anyway. Okay, left side of the gun, birdcage, that'll be gone very soon here. I don't want that. Here's your gas setting. Normal, and a little click of the finger here, suppressed, Clicks right back to the normal setting. Your short stroke piston system, date coded barrel. And again, on these newer receivers, this isn't anything new that most people don't know, but it's got the little gate right there for where the bolt release is. Nothing earth-shattering. Got the markings up on top. Beautiful fit and finish. Everything goes together really tight, really tight. Nice rifle. So, good things. The light profile barrel, ambidextrous, and matches. It's wonderful having the bolt hold open where you can do it, you know, when it's unload, show clear. It's beautiful having that right there. You can just flick a lever as opposed to kind of have to do two hands to lock the bolt back. I really like that. I love the new takedown pins. The trigger out of the box is great. The safety's great. This looks good. The grip, I could take it or leave it. I'm going to change it. I like that they didn't put like a Magpul stock on there. It ships with the HK stock. Love the handguard. Love how it's lightened. I love, you know, it's one thing to be lightened. It's a whole other thing to like the feel of it. It feels great in my hand. It wasn't like, oh, I got to change that. So no, great handguard. Ambidextrous charging handle. I love it. I love that it's, you know, the right size for the fingers too. I like that these are rated for accuracy with 10 rounds of match ammo, where they're guaranteeing a 1 MOA. The big hang up everybody's going to have is that these are not chrome lined barrels. I'm not even going to go into that because I think that whole debate is stupid. HK's comeback to that is they're going to give you a lifetime guarantee on the barrel. You can't shoot it out, meaning that if for some reason, you know, you all of a sudden lose accuracy and you've shot your barrel out, you just send it into HK and they'll give you new barrels for the rest of your life. Doesn't get any better than that on top of a lifetime warranty on a firearm, but that's what you get when you go first class. So enough on that. You're going to have a great barrel for your entire life. With this one rifle, you could never wear it out on the barrel. Unbelievable. So that's going to be a big hang-up. The other hang-up is going to be price. The MR series for piston guns have always been expensive. These are going to be expensive. I'm not even going to go into that because I'm sure the market will start to dictate where those prices go anyway, and I'm sure they'll be expensive out of the box as there's going to be more demand than supply, and then things will average out, and then it'll just be kind of your normal higher end priced piston gun where you're getting the absolute best quality, mil-spec, tested and approved. Okay, we'll have more videos coming. This was your follow-on to the unboxing, so you could see the firearm and what it's all about. And we'll do some more stuff here as we get this thing set up and ready for competition, and maybe I can give you some insight as to what I'm going to do to get mine ready and some tweaks that I'm going to make to put this thing into play. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Help me battle the censorship of YouTube, and we'll see you on the range.